Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, entrepreneurs of all ages, hello. So, I thought of starting this episode with a small advice for aspiring entrepreneurs. Even if you've not figured out what to do with your life or business, do not worry, do not stress. I know a lot of 40-year-old businessmen who are still figuring out what to do with their work. So, एक दिन शेफ और मैं बात कर रहे थे कि इंडिया में एवरीबडी वांट्स टू स्टार्ट अ फूड बिजनेस. किसी का प्राइमरी बिजनेस होता है, किसी को अपने बेटे को सेट करना है, किसी को अपनी बीवी को सेट करना है, किसी का सेकेंडरी सोर्स ऑफ इनकम होता है. सबको लगता है शेफ हरपाल की रेसिपीज डाउनलोड कर लो यूट्यूब से, जोमेटो स्विगी पे लिस्ट कर लो, हो गया आपका करोड़ों का धंधा चालू. ऐसा नहीं होता है भाई. मतलब खाने के धंधे में रेसिपी इंपॉर्टेंट होती है, बट देर आर 10 अदर थिंग्स दैट यू नीड टू नो ऑफ, like any other business, like any other manufacturing business. So chef and I thought, let's come out with a conversational show where we will reach out to veterans of the industry, star entrepreneurs, star VCs, star investors, who will talk about their journey. Their journey itself is pearls of wisdom, and we thought of cooking up a unique show where chef talks to our guest. They speak about their life, and chef also cooks relevant recipes to the topic. On this note, let me begin by introducing the host of our episode, Chef Harpal. He is the energy chef of India, the most versatile guy I know. He still keeps his ears on the ground, and his keenness to learn even today is so contagious. Chef,
भले वाह क्या बात है.
अपना स्टूडियो
अपना ही है, मेरा ही स्टूडियो सर. तो
by the way, chef has also been very kind to give his studio for our episodes.
नहीं, थैंक यू सो मच. और जितने लोग अभी हमें देख रहे हैं, हमें तो आप लोग देखते रहते हैं, लेकिन जिनको अभी आप देखेंगे ना, उनको गौर से सुनिएगा. तो जहां आप बिजनेस में स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं, उनकी बातें ध्यान से रखिएगा. कीप लिसनिंग टू all the I think knowledge that will be shared here right now, and because we've got somebody who's really I mean वहाँ पे है, मतलब जहाँ हम ऐसे देखते हैं उनको वाली कहानी. तो बहुत मज़ेदार बातें होने वाली है, और जो ट्रेंडिंग चीज़ें हैं उस पर भी बातें करेंगे, खाने को लेके भी बातें करेंगे. बहुत लोग टीवी करते हैं, टीवी वाले भी बातें करेंगे, ठीक है, आपके साथ. तो संकेत, who's our guest?
On that note, chef,
yes,
let me introduce the guest for today, Jayesh Parekh. So मैं पहले उनके बारे में मैं कल जब रीड कर रहा था, तो मुझे रियलाइज हुआ कि अगर मैं सब कुछ बताने जाऊंगा तो मुझे सोनी टीवी पे 2-2 घंटे की ट्रिलॉजी बनानी पड़ेगी उसको लेके. तो लेट मी कीप इट शॉर्ट. Jayesh is co-founder of Sony TV. He is a managing partner of Good Startup, a fund that invests in alternative protein. He is on the board of Avishkar Fund. He is also on the board of Jungle Ventures. He is also on the board of Jyoti Eye Hospital. He is an entrepreneur in residence with INSEAD. वो अनुपम मित्तल की तरह मैं साइड में बाद में बताऊंगा entrepreneur in residence क्या होता है. He is also on the board of a lot of entrepreneurial organizations. That's it. Indian Angel Network. And last but not the least, he is also authored a book. What will you do with all this money?
What shall we do with all this?
What shall we do with?
I know what I can do with that money, but we will first move ahead with our conversation. And Jayesh bhai, welcome sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for honoring. एकदम मजा आ गया जयेश भाई. I mean, I'm so honored to have जयेश भाई in our studio. Especially कुछ हम बातें करेंगे जयेश भाई. मैं कुछ खाना भी पकाऊंगा आपके लिए, और क्योंकि आप ऑल्टरनेट प्रोटीन, ऑल्टरनेट चीज़ों पे आप इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, तो हम नेचुरल चीज़ें वाली जो रेसिपी है वो बनाएंगे आपके लिए, ठीक है, और बातें भी करेंगे जयेश भाई. जैसे संकेत ने बताया कि इतनी लंबी लिस्ट है आपकी from what you have achieved. Can we have the audience listen to you, sir?
हाँ, वो क्या है कि वो सब पुरानी बातें हैं.
अच्छा.
अब हम आज से नई बातें शुरू करते हैं.
आज से.
ये जो अल्टरनेटिव प्रोटीन वाला है, ये मामला बहुत ही लंबा अच्छा है.
जी.
पुरानी जो बातें हैं, जैसे जंगल वेंचर्स थे, उसमें मैनेजिंग पार्टनर थे.
जी.
वो आई एम रिटायर्ड फ्रॉम दैट.
Okay.
सोनी एंटरटेनमेंट टेलीविजन जो टीवी चैनल बनी,
जी.
बहुत मजा आया. वो भी पुरानी बातें हैं,
जी.
अच्छी चल रही है.
जी.
तो मेरी जिंदगी में आई थिंक दैट आई एम अ कैटलिस्ट.
Okay.
तो मैं क्या करूँ, जैसे आईबीएम इंडिया में नहीं थी,
जी.
तो आई वाज अ कैटलिस्ट.
Okay.
तो आईबीएम में हम 4 टीम थे, हम उसमें एक टीम थे, तो वी ब्रॉट देम टू इंडिया फ्रॉम सिंगापुर.
Okay.
तो ऐसे ऐसे क्या कैटलिस्ट, सोनी एंटरटेनमेंट टेलीविजन वो भी क्या है, एक कैटलिस्ट थे हम. हमने क्या किया, हम उनको लेके आए, साथ में जॉइंट इन्वेस्टमेंट किया, जॉइंट वेंचर बनाया, टीवी चैनल शुरू किए, हमने बेच दिया और हम निकल पड़े.
वाह.
जंगल वेंचर सेम थिंग. सो जंगल वेंचर में भी हम कैटलिस्ट थे. तो ये क्या है, हमारा काम ऐसा है कि कहीं अच्छा काम होता है तो हम कैटलिस्ट बन जाते हैं, उनको कर देते हैं उनको रास्ते में, और फिर हम निकल पड़ते हैं.
वाह.
तो आज हम आ गए हैं आपके.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. वी आर ऑल ऑनर्ड एंड पीपल हु आर लिसनिंग आर एक्चुअली वेटिंग टू हियर फ्रॉम यू. तो सर मैं आपके साथ बातें करूंगा और साथ साथ जैसे मैंने बताया,
I will cut you, sir. I will leave the floor to
Yes.
the host and the guest for today.
Thank you for
we
inviting
need
me.
some space actually. Too much of space. Sanket is occupied. So जयेश भाई, मैं तो यहाँ आपके लिए आज नासिक वाली मिसल बना रहा हूँ, क्योंकि हमने एक प्रोडक्ट लाइन शुरू की थी और हमने बहुत अच्छा ट्रायल टेस्ट भी किया था, और वो प्रोडक्ट लाइन और ब्रांड का नाम था सरदार मिसल. मैंने कहा कि भाई एक सरदार मिसल बनाएगा तो कैसे लगेगा. ठीक है ना सर. हम बातें करेंगे शुरू में ना, बिकॉज यू काइंड ऑफ स्टार्टेड टेलीविजन, आपने सोनी लेके आए. मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि इंडिया में फूड क्यों नहीं इतना सेलिब्रेट किया था टीवी पे. Why there is no people who are owning television channels? Why they are struggling?
हाँ, एक एक्चुअली ये बहुत अच्छी बात है. दो चीज हुई. एक तो एशियन फूड चैनल,
जी,
चैनल निकली थी
जी,
सिंगापुर
जी,
से.
सिंगापुर से,
करेक्ट. वो एक एशियन चैनल. फिर अमेरिकन फूड चैनल है, तो वहाँ बड़ी बड़ी चैनल है. यहाँ हमारा क्या है कि टेलीविजन चैनल में इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं. मास्टर शेफ का प्रोग्राम है, जैसे आपका प्रोग्राम है, और भी 2-4, तो हाफ ए 1 आवर का एपिसोड डाल देते हैं उसमें कि पूरी की पूरी चैनल सिर्फ फूड पे बनानी. ये तो बड़ी अच्छी आइडिया है, आप लेके चलिए, हम पूरी बनाते हैं कुछ चैनल.
लेकिन है ऐसे, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि स्ट्रगल कर रही है. जबकि व्हेन आई सी पाकिस्तान में भी 4-5 फूड चैनल है, ठीक है, तो उनके लिए फूड इज एंटरटेनमेंट. आई मीन इंडिया इज सो बिग ऑन फूड, लेकिन फूड चैनल इज नॉट रियली.
तो आई डोंट नो द आंसर, बट मे बी the problem is that people don't know how to cook as well as you. People don't want to cook every day like you. So maybe this is the problem. तो बोले हम देखते हैं शेफ को बनाने, बहुत अच्छा लगता है, माउथ वाटरी, और आप बनाते हैं मैजिकल. तो ये सब आपका सब होता है सामान, उनको सब प्रिपेयर करना पड़ता है. आपका सब रेडीमेड होता है, तो शायद ये भी इसीलिए होता है.
So maybe we'll find answers maybe over a period of time. Maybe we'll keep bothering Jayesh bhai whenever something of that nature happens, right Jayesh bhai? So Jayesh bhai, you have invested in so many funds, so हम alternate protein की भी बात करेंगे. India is a I mean I wouldn't say India is a vegetarian country, but जो भी नॉन वेजिटेरियन भी बातें होती है ना, वो हफ्ते में जो अपने आप को इंसान कहता है कि मैं नॉन वेजिटेरियन हूँ, बट वो हफ्ते में 1 बार खाता है मैक्सिमम, और महीने में शायद 3 बार खाता होगा. तो नेचुरली इतना प्रोटीन मिलता है, बट ऑल्टरनेट प्रोटीन क्यों आया?
या सो एक्चुअली क्या होता है कि ऑल्टरनेट प्रोटीन इन द वर्ल्ड टुडे,
जी,
द रीजन फॉर इट इज बिकॉज क्लाइमेट इज अ बिग इशू.
Okay.
Arable land is limited.
Okay.
Water is limited.
Okay.
So if you look at the number of animals that are killed,
Okay,
for consumption,
okay,
I think that cannot sustain. The
Okay.
protein that you need by 2050,
Okay.
when there are 10 billion people,
okay,
it's just impossible.
okay,
Plus, recognize that middle class, when they start wanting to eat protein, they will actually start consuming even more than people are consuming today.
Okay.
There was middle class of 100 billion, then it became 200 billion. Today in India itself is 300 billion
Yes.
people. And now if, so also another statistics, 96% of the world is non-vegetarian.
yes,
4% is vegetarian.
Yes.
In India it's 70% non-vegetarian, 30% are vegetarian.
correct,
But it is those non-vegetarian people whom we are appealing to.
Okay.
Because if you say, if they keep increasing their consumption,
जी,
and new people, aspirational people start eating,
जी,
we just don't have that much protein. That's
Okay.
number one. Next, second thing, sir,
okay,
factory farming
जी,
बहुत ही बुरी चीज है.
अच्छा,
Factory farming में animals are put inside a factory and they are pumped antibiotics into it.
Okay.
80% of antibiotics are pumped into animals,
Oh.
which we are consuming. So contaminant and antibiotics is extremely bad. Plus
Okay.
factory farming, we are
Okay.
harming the animals.
Okay.
So it's one thing to keep them separately and
Okay.
treat them well. So I think these things, if you look out into the future, if we create alternative proteins, so you have meat substitute, you have seafood substitute, you have chicken substitute, you have dairy substitute, egg substitute. Now I think the world can be a better place without sacrificing. And I will tell you a little bit more about it as we go along.
Sure.
Yes.
So let me begin, cooking also. हम मैंने जैसे बताया कि हम मिसल बनाते हैं, तो हमने जो मिसल की स्टोरी शुरू की थी, तो उसमें थोड़ा सी हमने पढ़ाई की कि ये पुअर मैन का खाना है. अगर वो एक बोल भर के खा लेता तो कम से कम 30% प्रोटीन इंटेक उसके दिन का वो ले जाता है. बिकॉज इसमें जो पल्सेस पड़ते हैं, स्प्राउट्स पड़ते हैं, उसके हिसाब से ये एक्चुअली गेट्स 30% ऑफ प्रोटीन. सो फॉर हिम इज एक्चुअली दिस इज द बेस्ट मील. वन, इट इज नेचुरल. टू, इट इज ईजी एंड इट इज चीप. ओके, इट कम्स अक्रॉस द कैटेगरी कि भाई आप कहीं पे भी जाओ, नासिक में या पुणे में, फॉर दैट मैटर इन मुंबई ऑल्सो, कि आपको मिसल मिल जाता है सुबह. लेकिन दिस इज ओनली मॉर्निंग थिंग, इट इज नॉट अवेलेबल फॉर डिनर. सो डिनर में कोई नहीं खाता.
And by the way, it's one of my favorite.
Absolutely. अगर सर बॉम्बे में रहे हैं तो डेफिनेटली आई एम श्योर ये होता होगा. सो आई जस्ट पुट माय इंडक्शन ऑन सर.
ओके,
चलिए सर, तो शुरू करते हैं ऑयल से. एक्चुअली मैं आपको एक बड़ी मज़ेदार चीज़ बताता हूँ सर. बहुत अच्छे शेफ ने और जो खानसामा होते हैं ना पुराने, they have the knack of understanding what to actually blend and how to blend. So somebody, while I was cooking meat and using oil, he strictly said ki, why would you use oil for meat? Don't do that. I mean, it's harmful for the human body structure, because many of times when things are natural and you keep consuming, it keeps harming inside. So he said either you cook only in animal fat or you cook only in ghee. So you do that. So do not blend. If you have to blend oils. Do not blend an oil with butter.
Acha, wonderful. Okay.
So that is why I stopped immediately, and when I saw this butter that was given by my chef, so I said, okay, let's add this. This probably, but this will not keep it. मतलब ये आप यूँ समझिए कि ये poor man क्या नहीं होगा अगर बटर डाल दिया तो ये
so Mr. Butter आप
तेल डाल सकते हैं लोग, तेल डाल सकते हैं. और इसमें जैसे महाराष्ट्र है तो राई और थोड़ा जीरा डाल लेते हैं, इसको भून लेते हैं. तो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग दैट यू टोल्ड मी वाज कि agriculture land would reduce and farming land would reduce, which is why all this lab grown things is what is the future. तो डोंट यू थिंक ये जो जैसे आप लैब ग्रोन चीजें बातें करते हैं तो वो नेचुरल से हट के थोड़ी सी अननेचुरल होती है, तो वो वहाँ प्रॉब्लम नहीं आती?
वेरी गुड. 3 तरह के अल्टरनेटिव प्रोटीन होते हैं.
जी.
3 टाइप्स ऑफ अल्टरनेटिव. सो वन इज कॉल्ड प्लांट बेस्ड प्रोटीन.
करेक्ट.
So that comes from plant and that comes from all the novel ingredients.
Okay.
Second is a lab grown meat.
Okay.
What you're talking about. So lab grown meat, what happens is that you take a small cell from an animal.
Okay.
Right? So you're almost not harming the animal, you're taking just a cell from it.
Okay.
And then you're taking it and putting it into a bioreactors.
Okay.
And you're feeding it growth media and scaffolding.
Okay.
And then you're growing the meat inside the lab.
Okay.
Now, when you
but
think
that's
about
actually a meat.
But it is real meat. So when end product, what comes out of it is that when the molecularly that meat is exactly same as the meat that you're consuming.
Okay.
Except in the meat that you're consuming, which is factory farmed meat, there is contaminants, there's antibiotics. It's not good for you. It's not good for your cholesterol.
Okay.
Whereas the meat that is grown in the lab, that is contaminant free.
Okay.
It molecularly exact same. Taste is same. Everything is same.
But that would still be meat.
It is meat.
Okay.
So there is a question of veg versus non-veg.
Correct.
And if you are a vegetarian because you don't want to sacrifice animals, that is the only reason, then this is vegetarian. Because I'm not killing an animal. However, if you look at Jain philosophy and stuff like that, it is entirely possible that people may feel that no, because you're growing and it is still animal, and it tastes like animal, it chews like animal, mentally you think that you're eating an animal, then that's a no-no. Therefore, but please understand that the focus is not on the vegetarians. The focus of that lab grown meat is again to the non-vegetarians. You said that 1 to 4 times a week people are eating that meat. And so instead of eating the meat which is factory factory meat, I am growing that animal and have it. Your doctor is going to say that for your health, instead of eating 4 times a week the natural animal, eat one time this salt protein, for example.
Okay. Oh, that's a very brilliant insight, because my mind, I was always reading that, you know, when you are culturing something inside a lab, you know, you are trying to alter the natural process of the whole planet.
Right.
So how would it be like, you know, very useful for a human being? But you answered my question by, you know, probably also people who look at, you know, no bloodshed kind of thing.
Absolutely.
That's where probably it works for people.
Absolutely. And today you have heard of names like Beyond Meat,
Yes.
Impossible Meat.
Yes.
That's ground meat.
Okay.
Right? 10% of the world consumption of meat is ground meat.
Okay.
90% is whole cut.
Yes.
So that is now coming.
Okay.
Right? Plant-based whole cut is still early stage.
Okay.
Cell-based is even earlier stage. They're still
Okay.
in research mode.
Okay.
So when that cultivates, right,
Okay.
develops in the
Okay.
lab
Okay.
and grows in scale, the price will go down. See, chef, at the end of the day, there are two things that really matter.
Right.
इससे बड़ी-बड़ी बातें ठीक है।
जी।
तो एक तो टेस्ट है और दूसरी प्राइस है।
Correct.
आप कुछ भी बात करो, इधर-उधर करो, बड़ी-बड़ी बातें करो या ऐसा है,
I fully हिंदुस्तान में मैं पूरा बिलीव करता हूँ कि अगर आपको ये सारी चीजें बेचनी है तो एक तो एजुकेशन बहुत जरूरी हो जाता है. We'll come to that, sir. I'll quickly add some spices to this. So here I'm going to add some ginger, some garlic. Okay, I belong to the genre of chefs who like break the rhythm of a process which probably our दादी माँ taught us कि तेल डाला है तो जीरा ही डालना पड़ेगा, तेल गरम होगा तो ही जीरा जाएगा. तो मैं वो पूरा I have in my television show, probably you might not have seen, it's called Turban Tadka. Okay. It's quite popular in India.
Turban Tadka is a fantastic name.
Yes, it's quite popular and people have showered all the love to the show that I've done. And I also do a jingle which we will do together also.
All right.
Okay. एक ही क्वेश्चन में when we were planning to get you here, मेरे मन में वही आता था कि अभी GMO की बातें करते हैं तो GMO मेरे हिसाब से मतलब आप जेनेटिकली मॉडिफाई करते हैं कोई चीज, so is GMO also linked to the lab meat kind of thing?
There is a GMO product and a non-GMO product.
Okay.
Right. So there is very distinction.
Okay.
Europe, for example, does not like GMO.
Okay.
So they will not allow it.
Yes.
Whereas America says it's okay.
Yes.
Asia says it's okay.
Okay.
Again, it's a psychological thing.
Okay.
Sir, आप अगर देखेंगे कि ये ना normal processed food जो आप खा रहे हैं, उसमें आप लेबल पे देखते हैं, लेबल में आपको आधी चीज तो समझ में नहीं क्या है, उसमें भी केमिकल्स है, प्रोसेसेस है, वो सब ठीक है. और आज अगर ये नया चीज आ गई जो एनिमल को save the animals out of the food chain.
Okay.
That is our thesis for our fund.
Okay.
So if I take the animals out of the food chain and I still give you price parity, I give you the taste, and if I give you a whole cut of meat or a grounded meat, and I can give you meat, I can give you seafood, I can give you chicken, and I can also give you dairy, eggs, all of this, all protein or cultivated, right? Then why not?
Wow. So, and also, will this be balanced as per the natural protein that you get from an animal?
Absolutely.
Same?
So actually, it is much better in terms of nutrients and proteins.
Okay.
So in terms of harmful things, they are extracted. So this is like a technology which is biotech, right? So you actually turn the knob. So beyond 1.1, 1.0, what was okay? 2.0 became so much better, and people actually enjoyed that a lot more. Now it's at 3.0.
Okay.
Can you imagine when 7.0 and 8.0 happen? It is going to taste almost like meat, even better than meat. At 1.5, why will they stop? They keep cranking it up, make it even better than meat.
Wow.
Right?
Wow, that's a good thing. But again, another question is running in my mind. I'm going to add some onions to this, and this will give us some time to speak further. तो ये इसको डाल दिया हमने, अदरक, लहसुन, जीरा, मस्टर्ड सीड और प्याज डाल दिया. अब इसको थोड़ी देर भूनेंगे, ब्राउन नहीं कर रहे हैं. ठीक है जी. अब एक बहुत ज़रूरी है, एक बहुत अच्छे शेफ जब हम शुरू में होते थे तो खानसामा से एक पर्टिकुलर क्लैन से आते, कम्युनिटी से आते, और वो ये ज़रूर कहते हैं कि कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि अगर जो मीट है उसमें ब्लड ना हो तो टेस्ट नहीं होता है. तो ये लैब ग्रोन मीट कैसे मैच करेगा?
तो हीम करके एक है, वो लैब में बनाते हैं, and that will substitute blood, and it doesn't come from it doesn't come from the animal.
Okay. So there's a huge research that is.
There's growth meat, there's medium, there's growth, there's scaffolding, and there's meat. All of this. So today, if you eat a Beyond Meat thing, that's the most important thing, right? You actually got meat. There's got the lali aati hai usme, blood ke jaise lagta hai, and it tastes exactly the same.
Oh, okay. That's something which जो लोग सुन रहे हैं, देख रहे हैं कि ये सारे मन में मेरे विचार आ रहे हैं, मैं शायद आप ही के लिए पूछ रहा हूँ. तो ये मतलब काफी रिसर्च हो रहा, people are investing money in this, and like you rightly said कि इस वक्त तो मुझे इंडिया में लगता है सर कि प्राइस पॉइंट मैच नहीं हो रहा, इसीलिए शायद लोग खरीद नहीं रहे। तो ये प्राइस पॉइंट कैसे मैच करेंगे लोग?
तो कल्टिवेटेड मीट हैज नॉट येट कम इनटू द मार्केट।
ओके,
इट इज स्टिल इन रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट। Billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars are going into that research.
Okay.
There are people who started making meat that used to cost $350,000 for a patty.
Okay.
Now that has come down to $50.
Okay.
Now it's going even below $50.
Okay.
So slowly the price parity will happen.
Okay.
But I think the important thing is that it's still in research mode.
Okay.
To manufacture it in large scale, there is still some time. It's 3 to 5 years in my mind.
Oh, okay.
The cultivated.
Okay.
Whereas plant-based meat is already here.
Okay.
Right? So dairy, for example, right? Oatly, for example, the meat,
yes.
milk, right?
Yes.
That has already gone public.
Yes.
In America, 14% of dairy consumption is all protein dairy.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
So millennials are very interested in this. Millennials don't want to eat the meat.
Yes, I mean I can relate that, Jayesh. By my daughter has stopped drinking milk mostly.
Very good.
Oat milk is what she did. She has cultivated this habit in me of drinking tea with oat milk. So I am started slowly enjoying it. Earlier I was not, but I also see that all these multiple cafe chains, they give this.
Yes.
You know, with
all
oat,
of them have
yes.
different. Which somebody
yes.
says soya milk, somebody
yes.
wants oat
milk,
and
yes.
there'll be no. अभी तो ये शुरू हुआ है.
Yes.
ये तो पूरी जर्नी शुरू है. नोवेल इंग्रेडिएंट्स तो आएंगे इंडिया से.
अच्छा.
मेरे हिसाब से.
Okay.
अभी टेक्नोलॉजी आप देखिए, पूरी वर्ल्ड में टेक्नोलॉजी के रिसर्च चल रहा है. यूएस में चल रहा है, इजराइल में चल रहा है, ये स्वीडन में चल रहा है, सब जगह चल रहा है.
जी.
इंडिया में टेक्नोलॉजी रिसर्च इसमें अभी बहुत ही अर्ली स्टेज पे है. प्लांट बेस्ड में है थोड़ा बहुत, कल्टिवेटेड मीट में नहीं है, डेयरी में तो एकदम ही नहीं है, क्योंकि हम तो डेयरी वाले हैं. तो ये डेयरी तो मिल्क को तो कहीं बोलोगे कि भाई ये मिल्क अच्छा नहीं है पीने में, तो पीपल विल प्रोटेस्ट ऑन दैट. सो आई थिंक डेयरी हैज अ लॉन्ग वे टू गो. बट एग्स, alternative eggs made from moong, right? Eat Just is a company that makes eggs.
In fact, I have a friend where we have done all this. Eggs का मुझे पता है कि you know the moong omelette and things like that. They've just been brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. And again, yes, too early to comment कि because of the price point. It's too early.
But chef, actually price point में ऐसा है, जैसे अमेरिका जैसा देश है, यूरोप जैसा देश है, वो लोग कंजम्पशन शुरू कर दिए हैं. Because they are not that sensitive. There is a upper echelon who can afford that.
Correct.
So they are consuming it. Plant based है, fermentation है, 13 technology है. Plant based है, cultivated भी है, तीसरा fermentation है, जैसे beer yeast, fermentation. और mushroom has become a big deal,
yes.
also, right? Mycelium.
Yes. So I am in the last 1 year. There's a friend of mine who is called Dhanishree. She has done a lot of research on probiotic and fermentation, and I've realized that in our country there's so much food that is naturally fermented and consumed that somewhere it is getting lost, and we're trying to revive them back and trying to make people understand that.
And please understand, novel ingredients जब बोलता हूँ,
जी,
oat, कितने को oat पता है, millet आप बोलो, बाजरा बोलो, ज्वार बोलो, ये सब हमको पता है. तो उसमें नया ingredient होगा. The farmers will realize कितना potential है, वही पुराना घसीटा पसंद नहीं. Let's have some new ingredients.
Correct.
And when you have mass scale production of all protein from our novel ingredients, the Indian farm agriculture will also rise dramatically.
I mean, in fact, what I have seen, Jayesh bhai, is कि हमने oat milk सुना था, soy milk सुना. Suddenly in the last 3 months, the innovation center that I closely work with, we have done millet mill.
Fantastic.
And it is so brilliant.
Fantastic.
It is the cooking of a grain, millet grain, is very difficult. Hence, the new age millennials do not bring it home, because to cook a bajra is a painful thing.
I agree.
Okay, but if you get that milk extract and you say that now that millennial is looking at that format, okay, I'm going to the gym, so millet is good.
Also, our taste buds are different.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So what will work in USA may work in Europe, won't work here.
Yes.
What will work here may work in America, may not work in Europe.
Absolutely.
So I think the growth, सबसे बड़ा मार्केट कहाँ है? हम देखिए एशिया है, सबसे बड़ा मार्केट हमारा ही है. अल्टीमेटली तो यहीं आना है.
यहीं आना है. करेक्ट.
वो पैसा खर्चा करके सब रिसर्च कर रहे हैं.
हम खाएंगे. Very good. Superb. So quickly, let me add some ingredients to this.
Okay.
Some chili powder. We can't live without it in India. Some coriander powder. Typically, the Sardar Missal brand, we have a special spice mix, which probably I'm not using here. Nothing of any secret though. In
my camera, so आपको कहाँ secret है?
नहीं, अब secret है नहीं ऐसा. वो in my life, I always believe that I can share a recipe, because in my restaurants also I tell my co-investors and all कि तुम्हें अपना रेस्टोरेंट खुद को करना है तो ये रेसिपी ले जाओ और कर लो. बिकॉज उसे सक्सेसफुल बनाने के लिए और मुझे खुद को सक्सेसफुल बनाने के लिए 25 साल लगे, तो तुम अगर उतना समय दे सकते हो तो दे दो. कोई परेशानी वाली बात ही नहीं है।
सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री में इसको ओपन सोर्स बोलते हैं
जी,
ठीक है। तो सॉफ्टवेयर ऐसा होता है कि ओपन सोर्स कोई भी ले जाओ,
हाँ,
तो फिर भी सब लोग वो ओपन सोर्स से इसको प्रोडक्ट थोड़ी बना पाते हैं।
करेक्ट करेक्ट।
आपका जो हाथ लगता है इस पे,
जी।
आज जब मिसल खाएंगे
जी,
वो तो सब देखते रह जाएंगे, हो जाएगा संगम।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। तो ये बढ़िया हमने मसाला डाल दिया। अब वो समय आ गया जयेश भाई कि हम दोनों मिलके ना, आई विल टेल यू व्हाट टू डू।
ओके,
थोड़ा सा आपने नमक लेना है,
ठीक है,
और हम दोनों मिलके थोड़ा सा ही लेना, आपने भी,
ठीक है,
मैंने भी थोड़ा सा
ठीक
लिया,
है।
और हम दोनों करेंगे। आप मेरे साथ संग बोलिएगा, नमक शमक
नमक शमक,
नमक शमक
नमक शमक
डाल देते हैं,
डाल देते हैं,
नमक शमक
नमक शमक डाल देते हैं, नमक शमक डाल देते हैं।
जयेश भाई थैंक यू सो मच।
Alright.
लोग मुझे इसके कारण जानते हैं,
अच्छा।
एंड आई प्राउडली से दिस, अर्लियर आई यूज्ड टू बी लिटिल हम्बल, और फिर मैंने कहीं अचानक से हार्वर्ड की कोई बुक पढ़ ली,
हाँ।
उसमें बोला बीइंग हम्बल इज पासे,
एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट,
राइट,
एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट।
Yeah.
क्योंकि जैसा होता है हम्बल होता है वो
हाँ।
आगे पीछे बैठ के करते रहता है,
हाँ।
वो लीडरशिप फ्रॉम द बैक बोलते हैं।
Yes.
एक बड़े वहाँ के
हाँ।
अपना मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर
जी,
है, हमको सिखाया
जी।
है। दो तरह की लीडरशिप होती है,
जी।
एक लीडरशिप फ्रॉम द बैक होता है,
जी।
जिसका भी जमाना होता है, जैसे
जी।
बड़ा कार का शोरूम है
जी।
तो मैनेजर पीछे बैठता है,
जी।
सेल्समैन आगे जाके।
जी।
ये ऐसा आपका काम है कि कैमरे के आगे आइए,
जी।
इसको बढ़ाइए, जैसे हमारा ऑल्ट प्रोटीन है,
जी।
हम आपको लेके आएंगे, हम बढ़ के प्लीज बताइए इनको,
बिल्कुल।
क्योंकि ये जो नॉलेज है
Absolutely.
हम बोलते रहेंगे, कोई हमको सुनेगा
जी।
नहीं। सर आप पूछ रहे हैं, दो आदमी बोलेंगे नहीं ऑल्टरनेटिव प्रोटीन सही बात है,
जी।
तो सब लोग बिलीव करने लगेंगे।
Absolutely.
क्रेडिबिलिटी आपकी बहुत है।
Absolutely, absolutely. We build that credibility over a period of time.
Yes.
तो आप ये ऑल प्रोटीन जो इंडिया में नेचुरली अवेलेबल है, ये मटकी डाल लेते हैं, और ये मिक्स स्प्राउट्स डाल लेते हैं सर इसमें, और ढेर सारे डालेंगे। नासिक में जब आप मिसल खाते हैं तो बहुत सारा मिलता है। मसाला भून लिया, अब हम पानी डाल लेते हैं इसमें सर, और जो भी इसकी स्ट्रेंथ बनेगी मूंग से और मटकी से बनेगी, तो इसको बॉयल होने दे अच्छे से। अब इसमें सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ ये होती है कि आप तो बम्बई में रहे ही
जी हाँ।
हैं, तो आप, लेकिन जब आप नासिक पूना वहाँ भी गए होंगे आप, तो आपको पता है कि वो हमेशा कहते हैं कि तेल जो है ना स्पाइसीनेस के लिए, वो आपको एक अलग तेल लेके आके दे देते हैं मटके में, तो अब आप डालो कितना डालना होता है। तो भाई मन तो करता है, लेकिन कभी कभार एक उम्र के बाद फिर लगता है कि अरे द हार्ट स्टॉप है।
सो तेल, शुगर, सॉल्ट,
जी,
दिस इज व्हाट ब्रिंग्स द टेस्ट।
यस, एब्सोल्युटली।
तो तेल आप संभाल के डालेंगे कि
जी,
पूरा डालेंगे?
नहीं मैंने तो संभाल के डाला है सर,
ठीक है।
नहीं तो ये ऊपर से तैर रहा होता
ठीक
है।
है।
तो ये तेल डल गया, सॉल्ट उतना ही डलता है जितना डाला है। मैंने देखा आपने पूरा सॉल्ट डाला, तो इसलिए मैंने अपना हाथ रोक दिया था कि भाई ठीक है, बढ़िया। तो हम अभी यहाँ पे और बातें कर रहे हैं, तो ये प्लांट बेस्ड हो गया, ठीक है। तो मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इंडिया में अभी भी लोग क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं कि अगर प्लांट बेस्ड प्रोटीन ही खाना है और उसे एक्सट्रूड करके, उसे प्रोसेस करके खाना है, तो नेचुरली क्यों नहीं खाना है?
ठीक है। सो दैट इज, आई थिंक, अंडरस्टैंड दैट दिस इज सब्स्टिट्यूट फॉर मीट।
Okay.
So it's plant-based meat.
Okay.
What you are doing right now is protein.
Okay,
It
right.
is not meat protein.
Okay.
It is not chicken protein.
Yes.
Seafood protein.
Hmm.
People who are consuming those proteins, we are
Are-
saying uska alternate.
अच्छा।
So it's alternate meat. It's alternate protein of meat or seafood or chicken.
Okay.
It's not alternate to plant.
Okay.
That okay, आप घास फूस खाते हो
So
तो
it is alternate to chicken.
it's alternate to chicken, alternate to meat, alternate to seafood,
So
alternate to eggs.
how do you see that market? Because जयेश भाई, जो मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी है कि हिंदुस्तान में जहाँ वर्ड चिकन लिख देते हैं या मीट लिख देते हैं ना, काफी सारे स्टेट्स तो आउट हो जाते हैं।
Correct. Actually, that 30% now, but
Yes.
70% still holds.
Still there,
right? हाँ.
yes.
अच्छा देखिए, आप यूएस पूरी दुनिया में 2 ट्रिलियन का फूड मार्केट है आज के
करेक्ट,
दिन।
करेक्ट।
उसमें से 20 बिलियन 1% ऑल्टरनेटिव प्रोटीन का है
Okay.
मार्केट आज।
करेक्ट।
2030 तक में ये 150 से 200 बिलियन हो जाएगा,
ओके।
और by 2050 it will be 30% of the world market, which will then have gone to 3 trillion. Conservative is कि 1 ट्रिलियन हो जाएगा।
ओके।
So your choice is that I will continue to just eat the meat. I will be in the food business.
Okay.
So all the strategic large companies, Cargill, Nestle, Unilever,
Okay.
Liver,
Okay.
all of them have a alt-based protein or cultivated meat
Research
product
happening.
lines that are already starting to happen, and they're in the market.
Okay.
But more importantly, they're investing in startups along with us.
Okay.
And some of the companies we're investing in, they're going to buy it out.
Oh, okay.
Because they're strategics,
Okay.
they have the
Yeah.
distribution platform,
Correct.
they can see it. So I think that it has a massive market opportunity in the future
Okay.
from novel ingredients to the bioreactors and extruders, which is what is required to create these products.
Okay.
And then of course you have growth and you have media and you have adhesive and all of these things.
Yeah.
You put it all together and you have three different things, right? So plant-based, but you have cultivated, which not everybody will eat. But once you start tasting it, and if you're a meat eater, and if you're tasting it and it tastes actually like meat and you can't tell the difference, why do you want that animal to get sacrificed? And why would you want that contaminant? Why did you want to eat antibiotics? Why would you want your cholesterol to get spoiled? And I'll give you another product, if the price is right.
Okay.
So today in the world, it is really starting to grow, but see the trajectory. $1 trillion business will come from there. So when you start talking about protein,
yes.
This is not alt protein.
Okay.
Alt protein is when you substitute meat,
okay.
substitute chicken.
So it is essentially when you substitute animal to.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So I mean, again, another question. By the time this boils and completes it, so when you look at, you've been investing at so many companies. So what do you look at in a company when you actually invest?
Yeah.
So आप क्या देखते हैं उसमें? अभी आपने मुझे ये clearly समझ में आ रहा है कि आप plant based alternative meats में क्यों इतना excitement दिखा रहे हैं? Because you've got that analytics right by saying that okay, by another 30 years it is about 2 trillion or whatever. So what do you look at it, and what is the advice you would give to the entrepreneurs who are building business?
I think that it's very important to tell your story, right? So who you are is extremely important.
Okay.
So I asked 4 questions.
Okay.
Right? The questions are who, what, how, and why.
Okay.
4 questions.
Okay.
Of that, who is extremely important.
Okay.
Who are you? You're Chef
Okay.
Harpal. You have a charisma. You have understanding. You have intelligence. You have business acumen. Who are you?
Okay.
What is your background? What is the signaling? Can
Okay.
you tell a story?
Okay.
If you can't explain your business, then what is the point of it, right? So who are you?
Yeah.
Second thing is, what is this business you're trying to be?
Okay.
So if you're trying to create a problem solution, which is fixing a big problem that you're fixing,
Okay.
is it a useful product? Is it a useful service?
Okay.
If you're creating a product or a solution that is useful to the marketplace and what it is, and it can scale, then I'm interested. So
Okay.
first is who. If you're not who, then you're out.
Okay.
After who is what, then what problem are you trying to solve? After what problem you're trying to solve, the next thing is how are you going to do it? How are you going to execute? सब बोलते हैं ना कि execution is a big thing.
Yes.
Execution is a big thing.
Oh.
कि आपने तो बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट बना दिया है, बोला ऐसे बहुत बड़ा प्रोडक्ट बनाने वाले हैं, एक सॉफ्टवेयर बनाने वाले, सॉल्यूशन बनाने वाले हैं, पर ये सॉल्यूशन आप कैसे बनाएंगे? How will you do it?
Okay.
And how will you do it as a product market fit?
Okay.
You know, a very famous word now being used as product market fit.
Okay.
आपने प्रोडक्ट बना दिया, पर मार्केट doesn't want it, तो क्या
Okay.
फायदा है?
Okay.
मार्केट है पर आपका प्रोडक्ट ठीक नहीं है, तो क्या
Okay.
फायदा है?
Okay.
प्रोडक्ट और मार्केट अगर दोनों फिट होता है,
हाँ.
तब जाके ये चलेगा. Which includes requiring to making sure that the product works,
Okay.
but also that there is a price and a distribution strategy.
Okay.
So when you do that, that comes to how. But the most important thing, Chef, is
Yeah.
why are you doing this?
Okay.
Today's millennials are not interested in normal run of the mill.
Correct.
Right? They are all interested in why. अगर पर्पस होता है तो they actually love it. अगर पर्पस नहीं है तो they are actually not interested. They are not interested in working in mainstream banks, or they are not
Absolutely.
interested in working in mainstream things.
Yeah.
They are saying, hey, listen, what is it that that you're doing for which my why will be satisfied?
Okay.
And my why is purpose, for example.
Okay.
So is there an impact that you think कि हम दुनिया को बदल डालेंगे? दुनिया में whether it's poverty eradication, whether it's health tech,
Okay.
whether it's edutech, whether it's agri tech, people are interested.
Wow.
So these are the 4 questions I
Okay.
ask usually.
Okay.
And somewhere along the line, I picked the pulse,
Okay.
and I realized you must have an intersection of technology and economics.
Okay.
अगर इकोनॉमिक्स नहीं बनता है,
जी.
आप बहुत अच्छा प्रोडक्ट बना दिए,
जी.
पर आपको बेचने नहीं आता है, तो क्या फायदा?
Correct.
आपको प्राइस साइज की वैल्यू नहीं पता आती है, आप ये $10 में मिसल बेच देंगे, वो तो रेगड़ी वाला भी बेच देता है.
जी.
आप तो इसको ऐसा पैकेज करेंगे, ऐसा बनेंगे, you distribute in such a way that people will actually want to pay a little bit more, so therefore you'll create some margins
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So I think it's business acumen, which is also a very important thing that I look for.
Oh. So all those people who are building up business heard the man what people look forward to, right? It's a brilliant insight you've given to everybody, sir.
Thank you.
बहुत ही मज़ेदार वाली बातें हो रही है और मिसल मेरी ऑलमोस्ट बन के उबल रही है. मैं सर क्विकली ना अब इसको कंप्लीट करने के प्रोसेस में आया था.
ठीक है.
तो इसको यहाँ रख देते हैं, ये भी इंडक्शन ऑन कर देते हैं और इसमें थोड़ा सा दिस इज नॉट पुअर मैन्स मिसल सर.
Oh, I can see that.
This is not poor man's
आप
whistle.
जम के butter डाल रहे हैं.
Sir, what's like the French say, what's in a butter? है ना? I don't know, but that's the way it is. तो पाव थोड़ा सा गर्म कर लेते हैं. Generally मिसल में again traditionally मिसल में पाव गर्म नहीं करते लोग.
अच्छा.
पाव ऐसे ही रहते हैं सर. आप पूरे कंट्री में जाइए, जहाँ भी आप मिसल खाएंगे पाव नहीं गर्म करते.
अच्छा, ये
ना,
तो पाव भाजी में पाव गरम करते हैं।
भाजी में गरम
और
करते
मिसल पाव में
हैं, मिसल पाव में नहीं गरम
बटर यूज करते हैं?
बटर भी नहीं करते
Just bread.
because of the fact that missile already has so much of oil floating on top.
Okay.
So when you put the pav,
oil
it actually
everywhere.
soaks it up,
Achha.
and the spice is actually in the oil.
Okay.
So whenever you have more oil and you start removing the oil, okay, we chefs start getting worried about it कि अरे तेल निकाल दे रहे हैं तो सारा spice और taste तो निकल जाएगा.
अच्छा, तेल के साथ ऊपर में
Sir,
spice
because
नहीं
most of the spices are oil soluble, so the whole flavor gets into the oil. So the moment you remove the oil, we are finished.
And your basically name to fame is the taste.
Yes.
It is the taste,
Yes.
correct?
We actually, okay, we understand what the client wants. We catch the pulse of the lady or the man who's cooking at home. So we understand what is the taste, and we understand it pan India very well.
Okay.
Very well. I mean, you tell me to cook in Bangalore, you tell me to cook in Delhi, East, West, I will come out with successful recipes.
So you fine tune it, or
Yes.
it's the same?
You know, it
So
could be
East and
almost the
West,
same.
but
It
there
could
is
almost,
little bit
yes. So
mustard use कर लोगे कलकत्ता में?
तो हम सर जब भी अपने रेस्टोरेंट का भी मेन्यू बनाते हैं, so out of that entire menu, probably 60% is the same, okay, same recipe, same everything. 40% is localization.
Sir, what is that one secret sauce which makes Chef Harpal?
Okay, so one secret sauce, my energy comes with salt, sir. I'm very closely in love with salt because I believe it is Gandhiji who actually, made us walk with the salt satyagraha, and that's where the journey started actually. So whenever I cook, I started doing television, serious television. So my whole thing was, my director actually asked Harpal, so what would you do on television where people will remember you after you die?
Wow.
So that was the first question. And then he said, so I will not shoot with you until you come back with a real answer. And actually for 10 to 15 days I struggled and we were not shooting. He said, I will not begin shoot. You come with an answer, you tell me what will happen. So now I come with an answer, I give the answer to him, and he was literally very thrilled. And now I realize that if I were to actually look at my fan following, I proudly say that even Shah Rukh Khan does not have that fan following.
Yeah,
I mean, he might have the numbers.
Right.
Okay, I might not have the numbers. I'm quite open to it. But a 2-year guy old in a mother's lap will start jumping when I sing Namak Shamak. And a 90-year-old man will also sing Namak Shamak.
Okay.
So that span from 2 to 90 is the largest span any chef has, any celebrity has in the country, sir.
Wow.
So I proudly say this.
क्या बात है?
So I've realized that I will not be humble anymore about this.
Chef Harpal,
Ji.
when and how did that inflection point happen? When you knew that, okay, I've arrived, I've got something here.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, I realized over a period of time, I was not good at speaking, okay. In class, until class 12, my father would always push me to do drama, on school, for speeches in school. I would never. I was a notorious guy, but I was quite popular amongst my friends.
Okay.
My friends would always look upon me, okay, now this guy's come, so there's entertainment. So somewhere that was hidden in my, probably, I would say, in the whole structure that as I am, that it was hidden inside me that, okay, this guy is good for entertainment. And I was very talkative amongst friends, but right not on the stage. And then I again would go back and speak about my director itself. And he is the guy, he said that, Harpal, what you need to do is, you need to, start public speaking. I was good at taking classes when I was a chef. I would go out and meet guests. I was never afraid of them. So even if my food was bad and my guest was not happy about what I cooked, I would still go and meet him. And at the end of the day, we would be best pals because I would have made him laugh so much there because of the bad food that I served him.
Wow. Actually, it really reminds me that you are no different than what an entrepreneur needs to do, which is you must have a pleasing personality.
Yes.
Nobody wants to do business with khadus, right? People
Correct.
want to do business
Absolutely.
with pleasing personality.
Absolutely.
And you have a just charismatic personality. Pleasing. I'm just meeting you for the first time.
Right, sir.
And I just want to give you a hug and say, oh my God.
Wow,
what an
that's
amazing guy."
it!
Wow.
Wow, this is
Seriously,
amazing.
I mean, he's a very personable guy, very pleasant, and your communication skills are natural.
Right, sir.
You're not making an effort here, and you're just genuine. You just come across as, I really feel that I get the vibe that you're a very sincere person.
Absolutely, sir. So naturally, I've been taught a few things by my parents. Okay, speak as much less lies as possible. It's very difficult not to speak lies, sir. I'll be honest.
Don't listen to him.
I'll be honest enough in telling this कि अगर मैं ये कह दूं कि मैं झूठ नहीं बोलता हूं तो मैं झूठ बोल रहा हूं.
अच्छा ठीक है. चलिए. There is honesty in that also.
Yes.
चलिए बढ़िया.
So ये सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात है और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जैसे आपने वो बुक लिखी है सर बहुत सुंदर सी. अब वो क्या नाम?
What shall we do with all this money?
सर एक बार पैसा देखो
तो देखिए ऐसा है.
एक बार देखे
ये भी बता देंगे आपको. What shall we do with all this money में ऐसा है कि कितनी मनी मेरे पास है उतनी कि आपके पास है उतनी कि संकेत के पास जी doesn't matter. Whatever that amount of money is, what shall we do with it? Be very understanding and careful of that. So if you have 10 or you have 100 or you have 1000, at the end of the day you need a certain amount.
Yeah, absolutely
now,
right.
After that, what are you going to do with the rest of the amount?
Correct.
A, I can accumulate it.
Correct.
2, I can buy things that I don't need. 3, I can pass it to my kids.
Okay.
These are the 3 things people do.
Right.
Instead of it, can I put it some good use? So these days I don't get impressed. If you tell me that you made this huge amounts of money, that doesn't impress me. How you use your money, that impresses me.
That's very important.
Yes.
So I also see that, yes sir, so you were talking about, I think you were attached to a lot of social activities.
Yeah, so what happened is, that I have 3 pockets in my social enterprise. One is where there is a non-profit.
Okay.
One, there is a micro lending.
Okay.
So micro lending means that if I lend money to somebody who's needy, let's say $1,000, let's say, and then that person uses that money and pays that money back to me.
Okay.
Some good happens. Then they are on their way.
Okay.
Right? So I lend the money comes back to me, I circle back, good keeps happening.
Okay.
Non-profit, I give the money, good happens, then they come back again to me. The third one is equity, social enterprise, investing in equity, for profit, doing good.
Okay.
So health tech, edu tech.
Okay.
I give money, sometimes while it's doing good, it might not work, it goes down. Okay? Sometimes it does very well, it gives me 3x, 4x, 5x money back, I take that and I plow it back.
Wow.
Right? So I have 3 little facets.
Okay.
Of this, the one that I'm most interested in these days is a non-profit called Akhanda Jyoti Eye Hospital.
Okay.
This Akhanda Jyoti Eye Hospital
in Bihar, I think.
This is something in Bihar.
Okay.
So Bihar is a low-income state, and they have a lot of people with
Motiabindu.
Yeah, correct. Cataract.
Yes.
Correct. And the cataract is bilateral cataract, which means they have both the eyes in which they have cataracts. So they literally can't see. Right? And so what Akhanda Jyoti Eye Hospital does is that they have 80% of the people who come there, they get surgery for free.
Wow.
And 20% are paid customers, right? And they do 65,000 cataract operations every year, right? Akhanda Jyoti Eye Hospital. And this is their, and they also have a program which is called football to eyeball.
Okay.
And football to eyeball, what they do is that some lot of these girls who are in the hinterlands, they bring them in to play soccer. Oh. Right, because the founder Mrityunjay Tiwari was a Mohan Bagan player in Calcutta.
Oh, okay.
And so he put up academy, a football academy. Okay. And so they would come to play football. Then they will say that, okay, would you like to learn ophthalmology, optometry? Okay. And they will put them to a diploma program or a degree program. Okay. And when they come out of it, the hospital hires them back, and many of those girls are making more money than their entire family. Wow! So that they become, the gender equity problem goes.
Wow! Fantastic. I mean, very nice, sir. Very nice. Because मुझे भी ऐसा लगता है कि मैं भी थोड़ा करते रहता हूँ. मैं गर्ल चाइल्ड के लिए बहुत करता हूँ, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर गर्ल चाइल्ड सिक्योर्ड होती है तो देश सिक्योर्ड हो जाता है.
And बहुत सारी ऐसे, there are a lot of online platforms where even if 500 rupees, 50 rupees, 100 rupees, तो ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं आपके पास 1 करोड़ रुपए होगा
तभी आप करना.
ऐसा नहीं. अगर दिल है, बर्थडे में क्या करते हो, एनिवर्सरी में क्या करते हो, ठीक है? अब बर्थडे में आप जाके कुछ ऐसा लेके आते हो जिसको केक लेके आते हो इतनी एक्सपेंसिव, आधी खाते हैं, आधे फेंक देते हैं. इससे अच्छा है कि put some money back into the system, into the community.
Absolutely. So brilliant, sir. Talking to you, बड़ा मजा आ रहा है. और मैं यहाँ पे ना अपने डिश परोसने के लिए तैयार हो रहा हूँ सर, और बहुत ही मज़ेदार हो गई है. हम थोड़ा सा नींबू भी काट लेते हैं, तो हमारे हथियार है सर ये सब. तो हम भी ये देखते हैं कि एज अ शेफ़ कितनी अच्छे से यूटिलाइज करें और कितना कम वेस्टेज हो. तो काटने के टेक्निक्स भी इसलिए हम सीखते रहते हैं.
तो आप ये करते करते हमारा एक प्रश्न आपने आंसर नहीं किया कि कब आपको ऐसा लगा कि हम ये अराइव्ड एंड हाउ डिड यू रीच दैट इन्फ्लेक्शन पॉइंट?
सर नॉट येट अराइव्ड.
अरे नहीं सर, ऐसा मत बोलिए.
But I if you were to ask me, like you mentioned how much money is right, so I would be grateful to the Almighty for whatever He's given me. Okay, and I'm really thankful where I've reached. It's not easy. I mean, if you really walk across in tier 3 city also, people recognize me by face. That is a big thing that has happened to me, and some of the top, probably I would say chefs or what, might be having 10x followers than me, but when I walk across in the smallest city or in US or in Singapore for that matter, when somebody comes running, a small child comes running and says, "Hey, Namak Shamak uncle," so that is the time I think, yes. And the point of arrival, I would say, is yes, when I did television for the first time, people started loving me. They started recognizing me. I felt that yes, that is it. And I'll tell you a story about this also, Jayesh Parekh. I come from a small town called Kharagpur, which is in West Bengal.
आईडी है
यस तो पिताजी को और जितने फादर्स हैं खड़गपुर में, उनकी एक ही सोच है कि बेटा बेटी जो है वो आईटी में जाना चाहिए। तो समाउ मेरे बैच में कुछ लोग गए और मैं नहीं जा पाया, लेकिन पिताजी के फ्रेंड्स के बच्चे वगैरह आईटी में गए। सो ही वाज लिटिल डिप्रेस्ड व्हेन आई वेंट एंड जॉइन आईएचएम, बिकॉज आई वेंट एंड जॉइंड आईएचएम विद अ पर्पस, बिकॉज भाई साहब भी जो मेरे थे बड़े वाले, वो भी स्ट्रगल कर रहे थे। ही वाज डूइंग द रेगुलर कोर्स एंड यूपीएससी दे रहे थे, बैंकिंग सर्विसेज दे रहे थे। आज से 35 साल पहले की बात है। तो उस समय ये बैंकिंग सर्विसेज, रेलवेज वाज ऑफ हाई इंपॉर्टेंस। लाइक राइट नाउ यू सेड मिलेनियंस आर एक्चुअली नॉट इंटरेस्टेड, राइट? बट उस समय वो भी दे रहे थे। बोले हरपाल, अगर तुम भी यही करोगे और मैं भी यही करूँगा तो दोनों स्ट्रगल करेंगे, तो पिताजी को कैसे सपोर्ट करेंगे? तो समहाउ एक लिंक के थ्रू उन्होंने देखा कि उनके एक फ्रेंड ने होटल मैनेजमेंट किया और वो करते ही उनको नौकरी मिल गई। तो बोले हरपाल, ये कोर्स सबसे बढ़िया है, नौकरी इमीडिएटली मिल गई, वाह, तू ये कोर्स कर ले। अच्छा जयेश भाई, यू विल नॉट बिलीव दैट अंटिल 18 आई हैव नॉट गॉन इनसाइड अ रेस्टोरेंट और अ होटल। हमारे यहाँ वॉज अ सिन, अगर आपको पानी पूरी खाना है तो स्टॉल से पानी पूरी घर आएगी और फिर पिताजी सबको खिलाएंगे, समोसे वहाँ से आएंगे, फिर पिताजी सबको खिलाएंगे। तो हमारे घर में ये फॉर्मूला था। अगर आपने खाते हुए देख लिया पिताजी के फ्रेंड ने, तो पिताजी के फ्रेंड आके पिताजी को बोलेंगे, क्या तेरे घर पे खाना नहीं बनता है? ये सोचती उस समय। तो और वो फिर हमें डंडे पड़ते थे पिताजी के। तो समहाउ चले गए हम होटल मैनेजमेंट करने, वेटर बनने के लिए गए थे, नॉट अ शेफ, क्योंकि शेफ नाम का वर्ड सुना ही नहीं था कभी लाइफ में हमने। तो हम वेटर बनने चले गए और नौकरी मिल जाएगी करके इसलिए चले गए। तो जाके वहाँ 2-3 महीने में ये समझ में आ गया यार कि जो शेफ लाइन है बड़ी मजेदार है। मुझे बड़ा एक्साइटमेंट लगा। सो आई डिड नॉट थिंक बियॉन्ड दैट। देन आई स्टार्टेड पुटिंग एवरीथिंग टुगेदर what was required to become a good chef. So that library comes from 20 years of collection, and a larger library is at home. So we started collecting, because early days there was no internet, nothing. I remember in '93 when I was exec chef of a hotel, of a 5-star hotel, New Zealand team, when they came and stayed in my hotel, they left back kiwis. So my housekeeping guys came and said, sir, ये कुछ पत्थर छोड़ गए हैं, तो ये आप देखिए क्या है। तो हमें भी बड़ा डर लगे क्योंकि उसका ऊपर का टेक्सचर बड़ा अजीब सा है। तो हमने पकड़ा तो एक जरा सॉफ्ट सी थी, हमने उसको दबाया तो दब गया, तो अंदर से हरा चीज ने ये क्या है। तो हमने थोड़ा चम्मच से लेके डर के टेस्ट किया, पानी भी रखा बगल में, देखा सारा जहर हुआ ना हो, खा लिया। तो टेस्ट किया, खट्टा खट्टा लगा। हमने कहा ये तो कुछ नींबू वगैरह जैसा। तो अहेड ऑफ माई होटल, इन फ्रंट ऑफ माई होटल, देयर वाज अ big shop. I went to that bookshop. I bought book of ingredients and I started browsing and matching.
Till you found it.
Till I found that, oh, this is a kiwi. Okay. So that much effort was required then. Like now you can
Google it.
Yes. So that is the difference, and so from there on we actually got the opportunity. Many opportunities we got. We worked around a lot of things.
So in Kharagpur, did you learn Bengali at all?
Oh sir, I can speak 7 languages.
আচ্ছা বাংলা বলতে পারেন?
খুব ভালো করে।
আরে কি করে?
খুব ভালো করে বাংলা বলতে পারি, পড়তে পারি।
হ্যাঁ, আমি তো গানও করতে পারি। বাংলা
আমি গান কি বলবো, আমি
করতে পারি।
হ্যাঁ, করতে পারি।
बढ़िया। বাহ।
তার কেউ নেই গো আমি,
কি বাহ।
কেউ আমার নয়, কোনো নাম নেই গো আমার, শুনো মহাশয়।
क्या बात है।
देखिए सर, this is a famous song sung by, I think, Amritpal, who's a Sardar ji, who came from Rawalpindi or that side and came and settled there, and was a famous ghazal singer, very famous in West Bengal.
And you schooling, everything was
yes, West Bengal.
Yes. And then how is there?
Then I came to Bhubaneswar for my hotel management. I worked in Bhubaneswar.
वो भी सिर्फ ईस्ट में है आप ऐसे
Yes,
left
and
कैसे
then I got a chance to work in Centaur Zoo as a kitchen management trainee. So I worked there for a couple of years. Then I went to Europe for some time. Came back and worked in a restaurant called Vintage, which was Indigo earlier. Earlier it was Indigo.
Yeah.
Before that it was Vintage.
Okay.
It was a Hyderabadi specialty restaurant. So learned Hyderabadi food there. That's where I got excited about Indian food. So went and mastered the art of Hyderabadi food from Begum Mumtaz Khan, she belongs to the Jagirdar families of Nizam. She was the lady who used to manage the kitchens of the Nizam. Then from there, Mehboob Alam Khan, then some Nizam Nawabs of Lucknow. So traveled across through my television shows, various shows I did. So I got this opportunity. So I always keep thinking that, there is one subject which is still unexplored and which we must look at it, is India is also a land of tribals, and tribal food is yet to be explored. And tribal food is alternate medicine in India.
Fantastic idea.
Is alternate medicine. So last year I got this opportunity because some learned people again gave up everything and went back to conserve soil in the rural areas of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Konkan belt and all that. And I somehow met somebody through an acquaintance. And during rainy season, they bought, I think this whole table was full of greens. This table was full of greens. And then they taught me, Harpal, how tribals eat and why are they so fit and what is the process of eating. So they don't consume salt.
Oh.
They don't consume salt. The only oil they consume is mustard oil. Okay. They have ingredients for sugar, no processed sugar, sir. No processed sugar.
What do they have it?
Yes. No processed
sugar.
Yes. So
but actually, chef, you can do this.
Yes.
But I think that ये बहुत ही चल सकता है. Because आप देखिए,
जी.
भेल यहाँ भी चलता है, वहाँ भी चलता है.
Correct.
भिटकी माछ वहाँ भी चलता है, यहाँ भी चलता है.
Correct.
तड़का दाल पंजाब से लेके राजमा दाल सब जगह चलता है.
Correct.
So we are a country which is popure, or everything works.
Absolutely.
So why not tribal food?
Yes.
And even tribal food, is it true कि south वाला tribal food, north वाला tribal food?
अलग है सर.
ऐसा अलग होगा?
अलग है सर. अलग है. So I was
all protein छोड़ दूँ आ जाओ इसमें कि
नहीं sir, all protein I'm quite excited about all protein because I am also working on little bit of plant based protein with an innovation center.
अच्छा.
तो थोड़ा बहुत उनके साथ कर ही रहे थे और we are masters of taste sir. हम उनको immediately बता देंगे ये taste चलेगा या नहीं चलेगा.
But this tribal thing, how will you discover the different food?
So this has to be really a big initiative of all state governments, I believe.
Research करना.
Yes, बहुत सारा research होगा, and I believe they are the last bastions that are available in India only. After which everything will vanish. Everything, because I was told by the gentleman that there is a variety of rice, okay, that is the starch of which is given to pregnant ladies after they deliver, because the amount of calcium that rice has. Yes, it supplements.
Okay.
So that is how they are. So when their cows and buffaloes, have fractures, because they generally live in areas where it is either hilly or things like that. So where the cattle also goes up and down, somehow legs and all break of the cattle. So they apply a paste of that rice and wrap it up in 3 days. In 3 days.
So this actually is how Ayurveda is now starting to come back again.
Yes.
So ये
वैसे ही है sir.
हमारा जो alternate food भी है ना, actually today kids are starting to see the label.
Yes.
हमारे टाइम में आपने कितनी बार आपने खरीदा
नहीं हमने लेबल देखा ही नहीं
देखा आज तक सब देखते हैं आपके. तो ये जो food है पूरा सब लोग they are quite conscious of calories. They are conscious of running every day and doing exercise every day. So that is all coming back.
Absolutely.
And this actually tribal is a fantastic idea.
Absolutely. I think yes, there are a lot of these hidden things that are left out.
Yes.
They are reviving back and I think some of them will take place, stay forever in life. I remember for this probiotic thing and the tribal thing, before pandemic, I had done this Giloy, extract kara. That was about in 2019 September, and I didn't know anything that pandemic would come. And believe me, that video was there on my channel, YouTube channel. Once pandemic came, it was all Giloy, kara,
wow.
Giloy, and it came out to such an extent that everybody has a Giloy bottle today, extract bottle. So.
Wonderful.
That's
so
this is the key sir. This is
thing.
what actually gets some thickness to this.
एक मेरा point question है.
जी.
ये जो होता है यहाँ तक ठीक है.
जी.
तो ये जब गरम आता है
जी.
और इसमें ये डाल देते हैं. तो हम तो तुरंत खा नहीं पाते हैं
सर,
बट
क्या-
बाय द टाइम इसको खाते हैं तो
हाँ।
सॉगी हो जाता है।
ये
कैसे
सर
हम करें?
ये थिकनेस प्रोवाइड करता है इसको।
नहीं बट वो
ये आपके पास ये
क्रंची रहेगा ऐसा कोई
नहीं
तरीका
रहता, इट विल नॉट बी, इट विल बिकम सॉफ्ट, इट विल बिकम सॉफ्ट।
ताकि इसको ठंडा अगर होने दे थोड़ा सा
Yes.
और फिर डालें क्योंकि ईटिंग टेम्परेचर हो जाए तो ये क्रिस्पी रहेगा।
नहीं, सो इसलिए ये एक्स्ट्रा अलग से प्रोवाइड किया जाता है।
अच्छा।
आपके ऊपर है, आप कितना डालना चाहते हैं।
हाँ, अलग-अलग से
हाँ,
डालते रहेंगे।
आप डालते रह सकते हैं।
ठीक, बढ़िया,
मुझे
आई एम रेडी।
यू आर रेडी सर?
Yes.
आई एम ऑल्सो रेडी सर।
आइए।
तो ये आपके लिए चम्मच आ गए हैं, और इफ यू आई पुट सम ऑफ देम इन दिस, यू कैन ऑलवेज मिक्स दिस अप सर। एंड
shall we take a smaller bowl so that we don't इसको जूठा नहीं करेंगे।
ये अब मैं आपको निकाल के देता हूँ छोटा सा बोल।
तो तेल वाला पोर्शन दीजिएगा।
तेल
पहले हम नहीं लाते थे, अब हमको इसके राज पता चल गया।
ये है सर। सो you can squeeze in some lemon. Okay, that's what kills the spiciness.
बढ़िया।
And you can put some
Should I put
onion.
some more of this?
Yes, you can put
No,
some.
I'll pass on that. I'll just have some more.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
And-
Please आप भी लीजिए।
Yes. And so before we actually finish our meal, so it was a real good thing, pleasure to have you here, sir. बहुत मज़ेदार बातें हुई, and I'm sure people who have watched this have a lot of things to take back home, especially with people who are investing in plant-based alternative things. He is the boss here. Whenever you want, you can connect with him. जितना बांटेंगे उतना बड़ा होगा ये, ऐसा बिलीफ है। पुराने ज़माने जैसा नहीं है कि हमने रेस्टोरेंट खोला, नहीं बगल में और एक नहीं खोल सकते। अब ये फॉर्मूला है, राइट?
Perfect.
It has to grow.
I am just super honored
Sir.
to meet you personally.
Thank you
Spend
so
so
much.
much time with you.
Thank you so much.
And I really enjoyed the whole. I have no idea what I was going to get into, but I really enjoyed it. And really, thanks to your
Thank you, sir.
interpersonal skills, which
Thank
are
you,
really
sir.
magical.
Thank you so much,
All
sir.
right.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir. Thank you, Jayesh bhai.
Okay.
Thank you.